Hey guys, Antfredum here, and welcome back to another Minecraft video. And today I'm going to be showing you guys the 50th weekly snapshot for 2012. And man, we're coming right up on 2013, where the snapshots are going to be named 13W01A, and people are just going to have like no idea what's going on. The internet's going to freak out. But for now, let's just go ahead and let's launch right into this here, because I do have quite a bit that I want to cover in this video. So the primary attraction to this update is that fireworks now have a sound when you launch them off. So let's just go ahead and let's spam this one right on the ground here. There you go. And then those ones had the little twinkle effect, so you could hear the additional noise that was coming along with it. But if you just want to hear one of them, there we go. And yeah, you can hear it launch off, and then it explodes and then twinkles off a little bit. And there are a few extra noises as well with the other effects. So anyways, yeah, definitely a very cool update and something that we were all expecting when fireworks were first announced, and it is cool to have that around. So now you can add Silk Touch to shears, and this has basically one effect right now. Let's just go ahead and let's add the Silk Touch to the shears here. Like I said, as of right now, it has basically one effect. Let's go ahead and let's game mode ourselves to survival here, and that is to cut down the cobwebs that show up, or cobwebs that show up anywhere, I guess. But it makes it so that you can cut them down and you can retrieve the cobwebs as a drop as themselves. But something you guys might be noticing about this, if you haven't been informed already, is that the drops, well, they don't really look normal. They look like, you know, something like this when you drop it on the ground. It looks like a regular block that's just kind of spinning, but it looks 3D. And that is because the addition of 3D items has been added into the game, assuming that you are on fancy graphics. Let's go ahead and let's go to video settings here, set our graphics to fast. You're going to notice, yeah, it's the same old thing. Looks exactly like it did. So if you don't want that, I guess you can set your graphics to fast. And let's go ahead and let's set our graphics to fancy here. And they're automatically going to turn into 3D items. And something cool to note about this whole 3D items thing is that if you take a look at the sword that's sitting on the ground right there, if you look at it closely, you can tell that it actually does have an enchantment on it. So as you can see there, enchantment, it's a little bit hard to see, but hey, if you're playing survival games or something like that, it might be a very useful bit of information to know. Like if you pick up a piece of armor that maybe you already have, and somehow it has an enchantment that yours doesn't, then you can go ahead and you can pop that on real quick. And this update also applies as well for things that are in item frame. So you can see this golden apple here kind of protrudes a little bit about, you know, just the one block's length from the item frame itself. You can see it happens for any items that you would normally place in, though this doesn't change the effect that happens when you place regular blocks like this into the item frames. But anyways, moving on here. One more thing that I wanted to mention before moving on to the next chest is now, as you guys have probably been seeing as I've been working around this video here, if I go ahead and I select the different items that are in my hotbar here, you notice that on the bottom of the screen there, it toggles the name of the item on screen there for just a second. So this can be very helpful if you are either like a newbie to Minecraft and you may not know an item when you pick it up, or it is specifically useful for texture packs that you are unaware of. Maybe like you hold something in your hand and like a bucket or something just doesn't look right, or torch just doesn't look right or something. Well, you can just go ahead and you can highlight it in your inventory and it will show the item on screen for about a second. But something even cooler to note about this is that if you selected an item that is renamed, it'll actually show the renamed thing, because obviously renamed items are a little bit of a specialty and assume that you kind of know what you're doing if you've renamed your item. So as you can see here, I have Thor's hammer, and it'll show Thor's hammer right there in the little tooltip when I select it. So anyways, yeah, that is what that's all about. So moving on. All right. So a new enchantment that has been added into the game is something called Thorns. And for those of you who have ever played any MMO of any sort, probably have an idea as to what this already does. Let's go ahead and let's go into creative here so I can enchant this. So most of you probably have an idea of what this already does if you've played any MMO of any sort. And I'm already wearing a couple of other pieces of Thorns armor here. Let's go back into survival, and let's go ahead and let's have a spider attack us here. So essentially, in a nutshell, is the thorns actually makes it so that mobs, when they attack you, will take damage as well. It's not a whole lot of damage. Let's see. That was 3 hits plus a fist hit. So 2 fists, 3 fists. Okay, he didn't take any hits there because it was too close. Okay, so it doesn't seem like they take damage from it all the time. Well, it seems like they take damage from it some of the time. I have no idea what the implications are that make it so that they take damage. But sucks that spiders... Oh, why do you have to be, like, the only safe mob I can attack during the daytime? That just... They don't come after me. But anyways, I think you guys probably got the idea. There you go. Takes damage. Takes damage. Then he runs away. Runs away like a little girl. Okay. Come on. Come on. Hit me. There we go. It seems like you're not taking damage when you're in mid-air. That's kind of interesting. I wonder if that's how it actually works. Let's see here. Okay. Are you going to hit me? Okay, let's move back here. Nope, you were in mid-air. You didn't take a hit. Okay, let's try this again here. I'm just kind of experimenting here. Okay, so you did take a hit. All right, and then you died that time in midair as well. So it's a little bit buggy right now, but you guys can definitely see what the intended effect is. So yeah. So now, with any item that has a durability bar can receive the Unbreaking enchantment. So this includes your swords, this includes your shears, I guess, if you ever really needed to hang on to shears for that long, because they're not that expensive. And you can apply this to things like fishing rods as well. So let's just go ahead and let's toss the fishing rod here into the anvil. And we are going to get ourselves, well, actually, I need to go back to creative. So much switching of the game modes here. But if I go ahead and I toss this in here, you're going to see that I am going to get an Unbreaking 3 fishing rod. So the fishing addict in you can worry about not having to use your 3 pieces of string that are incredibly easy to get otherwise, I guess. Yeah, I don't need any fish of any sort. But anyways, just noting that that is there as a possibility if you wanted to. So another thing that is new to this update, it's kind of like in addition to an update that happened in the previous update, is now the enchanting book can be found in villages and any kind of chest, as far as I'm aware, and that includes dungeon chests, which was noted in the previous snapshot. However, now I believe it includes things like mineshaft chests and stronghold chests. But I have it noted right here, so let's just go ahead and let's hop into this dungeon here as an example, because the world that I spawned is obviously super flat. It didn't have a natural dungeon. Let's go ahead and let's just see here, so you can see any sort of enchantment can come in the form of one of these books. Well, maybe not any enchantment, but I do know that there are some enchantments that you can get out of a dungeon specifically like this that are unobtainable from any other form, and I'm not exactly sure what those kinds are because it isn't noted anywhere in any sort of wiki as to exactly which ones those are. I would really be happy to know what they are. But anyways, then we have ourselves, a golden apple and sharpness 3 enchanted book. So yeah. All right, moving on to the last tidbits of information here. I kind of have some things written down here just in case I kind of forgot them. So as I said before, 3D items will only show on Fancy. The on-screen tooltips will show item names even if renamed. Though if you do want to disable them, you can go into the options.txt file and then change held items tool tips. I couldn't fit the S there. You set that to false and you won't see these things, and it's probably going to wind up becoming a feature when 1.4 releases. So if it annoys you, it becomes an option, leaving the option there for you. So something else that I almost mentioned, and I don't even think I wrote it onto this wall here, is that with 3D items, well, actually, it's not a 3D items update, but if you go ahead and you hold Q and then you drop the item set that is in your hand, it will drop all of the items at once. And so you will no longer have to do something like this if you want to get all of the items out of your inventory, if that's something that you can get used to. And I also kind of noticed that with the 3D items update, that bunched up items do look, at least I think, a little bit different. Let's go ahead and let's set that to fast. No, maybe not. I guess I've just never seen a bundle of chests all bundled up like that before. But anyways, so yeah, if you want to drop all of the items of anything that you have and you don't want to pause, like maybe you're running away from a mob or something, you know, oh crap, I gotta get rid of the stuff here. The cops are chasing me. Then you can go ahead and you can do that, I guess, if that's kind of what you're after. So the next little tidbit of information is that... let's see here. There's a notice going out to PowerPC users about incompatibility with one of the implementations of Minecraft, the LWJGL, which I believe has to do with the control mechanisms of Minecraft, no longer being supported. It's no longer supported on PowerPCs because the new one that's being used in Minecraft now, as of the 1.4.6 update, is only supported by Java 6 and up. So anyone who uses Java 1.5, otherwise known as Java 5 and lower, will not be able to play Minecraft on the newest versions. But I bet for those of you who use PowerPCs, for like the 0.01% of you out there, you probably run Minecraft at like a half a frame a second, and it's probably time for an upgrade. PowerPCs are really old for those of you that don't know. So yeah. So the next thing is that there have been 3 new PNG files that have been added to the jar for Christmas, and I am going to add those in the description below, or if I happen to remember, I will add those on screen now. But again, if I didn't, they'll be in the description below. And the firework rocket has been removed from the creative inventory because it was dumb. There was no need for it to be there because it didn't actually fire anything off, and it just kind of didn't belong. I have no idea why they put it there in the first place. But anyways, I believe I have covered absolutely everything that I wanted to cover in this video. There is one other notation as well. I figured I might mention it, is that overall protection enchantment is no longer as effective as all other protection enchantments combined. I guess maybe it was at one point, but as of right now, or as of now, it is not. So again, I feel like I've covered everything at this point. I am glad. So anyways, guys, I hope you all have enjoyed this video. My name is NetVenom, as the sun is setting, and we bid you all farewell. Thanks so much for watching.